Keizer Ghidorah versus Shimo. If these two big bosses of the Godzilla verse were to run the fade, who would come out on top? Your most hated kaiju power scaler, KC2000, will go over all their metas, their stats, and feats to determine a true winner. So place your bets on who's gonna take today's W. Shimo, the sweet old ice puppy, who's a slave! Brothers, I thought we were done with this, doing my girl dirty! But don't be stupid, she's still a powerhouse. Godzilla's greatest weapon, being able to cause multi-continental levels of damage, even when amped, couldn't do nothing to her. She's also out here turning Kong's hand into the Titanic's biggest op. Remember, Kong could jump into portals with planets' worths of gravity and be chilling, but Shimo got this man chilling! No? Alright. Constantly, Shimo is referred to as a world ender, that she's going to be the reason we get an Ice Age 6 starring Behemoth and his love affair with Ellie. Continuing with Shimo's world-ending powers, Adam Wingard even refers to Shimo being able to destroy the planet.
This weapon of mass destruction, she's so powerful, she can basically destroy the planet.
Shimo's already capable of turning planets into popsicles, but she can be argued to be even more powerful. Thanks to Legacy of Affairs, we can scale the portals to have dwarf stars amounts of energy, and base Godzilla is stated to be comparable to this energy. And base would get dropped by Evolve. And yet, Shimo was launching Evolve Godzilla into a whole nother continent, dog. I'm still trying to find where he's at. Meaning Shimo can be higher into Dwarf Star. And as for the insane crazy metas, Godzilla's atomic breath is the strongest weapon in nature. Black holes, it being a part of nature, should be included too. So Godzilla with his evolved form would be several times more powerful than black holes. So Shimo is strongly into the multi-continental to planetary tiers of power, with higher ends of dwarf star and solar system levels of power. She got bloods from other star systems trembling at her power. But what about her speed? Even with the big back 808 Scar King on her back, she's still running at subsonic speeds, and she can fight and react with evolved Godzilla, a Godzilla faster than his base form, who can react to Kong and Ghidorah that can dodge his relativistic atomic breath. So she should strongly be in the relativistic tiers of combat and reaction speed. Let's get to chatting about her abilities and hexes. Shimo is obviously a freeze lizard, having ice manipulation to a subatomic level at that, at absolute zero, making her breath colder than the Antarctica, colder than space itself, and yes, even colder than the one time I got your mom's number without even looking. She has passive freezing, weather manipulation with her frostbite, natural body weaponry like her claws and teeth, adaptation to low gravity, resistance to immense gravity pressure, limited resistance to burning hot temperatures, and quantum destruction via Godzilla's atomic breath, and her battle IQ, it ain't bad. It ain't good either. She's smart enough to utilize her tail as a whip, imposes her size and strength over her opponents, freely uses her frostbite, giving her range advantages, and yup, that's all her screen time. I don't know what else she got, my friends. Making Shimo a freezing world ender, a relativistic to maybe FTL fighter with a variety of ice-based abilities and resistances, and a physical fighting style with frequent usage of her frostbite. Scar King, I see the vision. No wonder you picked Shimo as the Godzilla killer. Keizer Ghidorah, a three-headed alien beast that had me hot as a child, being forced to watch my goat get completely washed. On my knees in despair watching Keizer dropping Godzilla into the YMCA logo. I'm sick! What makes this impressive? Prior to this, Godzilla folded every monster and their cousins. One of them was Gigan, who in his history annihilated Atlantis, which accumulated multi-continental levels of AP, and Final Wars Goji lined Gigan up with that fresh new fade. So easily can argue Keizer Ghidorah vaporizing those same continents. However, Final Wars Godzilla can be perceived as more powerful, having a handful of statements implying he's a world ender. And we see how bad Keizer treats him. So planetary is a viable option for the immense power of Keizer. But Godzilla hits a Gear 5 power-up and becomes Heavenly Godzilla, massively increasing his power. This Ghidorah, similar to Monsterverse Ghidorah, actually absorbed some of the energy until it became a little bit too much, and Keizer Ghidorah even zapped Heavenly Godzilla, with Godzilla audibly groaning in pain. Heavenly Godzilla is capable of pulling off high planetary to dwarf stars plus levels of AP. Now, Keizer definitely don't scale to the full thing, But considering he can still harm this super amp Godzilla, the case can be made that he's still somewhere in that range. And lastly, for his Omega Mega Wild Crazy Iron, Keizer is considered the big dog of all the Ghidorahs, meaning he'd be the more powerful than the likes of Ghidorah, who's out here making supernovas look like fireworks. Or how Ghidorah is more powerful than a fourth dimensional monster, making Ghidorah a possible universe destroyer. In speed, Keizer intercepts Final Wars atomic breath in point blank range, and Final Wars atomic breath could reach space in a short amount of time, calculating to 65% the speed of light. Or you could say Final Wars seeing the beam in slow-mo grants him FTL speeds, and once again, Keizer outspeeds this. Keizer should be relativistic plus upwards to faster than light several times. The ability and hacks Keizer has is kind of scary. A master of gravity manipulation, being able to levitate and heave large objects. Keizer possesses wings, meaning he should have the potential to fly, natural weaponry such as his teeth, multiple heads, claws. He also has energy siphoning, draining all of the soul of Final Wars.
There's your foot on his head.
Thanks. 12 inches of deliciousness.
What? And despite having a Tyson-esque size amount of screen time, he shows us a decent battle IQ. At first, he's playing defensive and wasting no time in spamming his most powerful weapon. Y'all be hating when ninjas spam in games, but if it ain't hurting you, there's no reason not to. And once Final Wars has been completely mollywopped, Keizer gets in close and uses his superior physicality to dominate Godzilla. With Godzilla laid out, like YBN's career, Keizer then amps himself by absorbing Godzilla's energy. I understand it now. This is why he's known as the Emperor of Ghidorahs. But with all of their stats laid out, who would win in a fight? Think it's about time we answer. This will be an intense battle that'll take place in Rio. I'll start with equal stats scenario, and then we'll go over the tally of the low ends and high ends and see who wins there. In the equal stats fight, Shimo will charge in and oh no, Keizer's anti-gravity beams catches her and he chucks her across the city. Godzilla watching in the background, Geek had talked about, that's how it feels! Shimo attempts to get up and fire a frostbite, but nope, Keizer got her in a chokehold and gravity flings her again, continually spamming his anti-gravity beams on Shimo all over Rio. Shimo will likely be overwhelmed over time, and Keizer will charge in and probably stomp her out, or just go straight to siphoning. And Keizer powers up, getting stronger, making it harder and harder for Shimo to fight back. And yes, my friends, I think Keizer is winning in the equal stats scenario, most of the time. If Shimo manages to land a frostbite, I don't see Keizer resisting it, meaning he's free eats for Shimo, but in most cases, I see Keizer coming out on top in the equal stats fights. But with stats, it's a bit of a toss-up. They each can be argued multi-continental, moon, planet to dwarf star. With the consistent high ends like planet to dwarf star, Shimo would be higher into it than Keizer would be. So on a consistency level, I'll have to go with Shimo. Speed could be a serious problem for Shimo. Keizer's speed blitzes, but that would only be a big issue if he's close or stronger than her in stats. Shimo at her strongest might be able to have some resistance to his attacks due to her having Hollow Earth Portal and anti-gravity feats, but these are debatable. But her stats should definitely make up for it, where she could just turn Keizer into Ice Cube. But what do you guys think? Do you agree or disagree with my analysis? Do you think Keizer annihilates Shimo? Or do you think Shimo's just too cold with it? Well, be sure to comment who you think wins. And while you're there, like and subscribe too. We're almost at 9 bazillion subscribers, so any help is wanted. But with all of that out of the way, I'll catch y'all later.